Let us start the session by chanting Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavatu Arahatu Samha Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavatu Arahatu Samha Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavatu Arahatu Samha Sambuddhassa. All right. So today we are going to test our knowledge regarding the chapter on consciousness that we have completed by the last class that we did. So I hope that you are prepared for the class. I hope that you have been able to revise and be prepared for the questions that we are going to be asking. The importance of today's class is it is by polishing up our knowledge on consciousness, and this is how we all do it. I mean, when we learn Abhidhamma, when we go from chapter to chapter, we do go through polishing up process, and this is that polishing up process that we go through, and this is very important for us, because or else we stumble on the other chapters, because in the other chapters as we progress, even if when we sort of finish, especially I would say the chitta, the Chetasika chapter, the mental fact chapter on mental factors, the chapter on mental processes, we have to have the knowledge of the consciousnesses and through the functions, the bases, the roots, and all of these things that will enable us to sort of understand and grasp these other chapters proper. And one fine day when we do finish this class, and or if we are to sort of start a class on the Dhamma Sangani, which is the second or the first book of Abhidhamma, the proper book on Abhidhamma, we need this knowledge, and it is vital and pivotal that we do remember the consciousnesses and we know the consciousnesses inside out to proceed in our study. And even also for those of you who are here just for the meditative knowledge, these consciousnesses, the mental factors, the mental processes, all of these, all of this comes very much in handy even when one would be progressing even in the basic states of Vedananupasana or even Chittanupassana. So having that in mind, let us start off the class. Or rather the questioning, right? So first of all, we are going to start easy. We are going to go into the types of consciousnesses. So, all right. Noeline? Noeline, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here.
All right. So how many consciousnesses are there, Noeline?
Is it 89?
89.
Hello? Yeah? Is it 89 or 121?
Yes, 89 or 121. Thank you, Noeline.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. 89 or 121. All right. The 89 or 121 types of consciousnesses are within the Chitta chapter, right? And now we will have Chamari.
Yes, Bhante.
Yeah. How many unwholesome consciousnesses do we have, Chamari?
There are 12.
There are 12 unwholesome consciousnesses. And how many roots are associated with these 12?
All three akusala, the Lobha Mula, Dosa Mula, and Moha Mula.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chamali. Thank you. Now, Dil. I'm having trouble unmuting your mic, Dil. Okay, up until
Right.
yes,
Okay.
Dil.
Yeah.
All right. How many types of rootless consciousnesses are there, Dil?
18.
18 types of rootless consciousnesses. And how many roots are associated with these rootless consciousnesses?
No roots at all. They're rootless.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Dil.
Thank you, Bhante.
Damsiri.
Yeah.
How many beautiful consciousnesses, Damsiri?
24.
24. How many roots?
3 roots.
What are the
greed? No, roots. Roots are greed, non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion.
Wonderful. Thank you, Damsiri. Pushpa.
Yeah.
Right. Pushpa, how many Rupa Vachara consciousnesses or fine material consciousnesses?
Sorry.
Sorry. All right. Yeah, follow. Huh? Okay. Samantha.
Yes, Bhante. Yeah.
So how many rootless fine material consciousnesses, Samantha?
15.
Okay. How many jhana consciousnesses, Samantha?
John, is that oh yes, jhana consciousness is
Samantha, you know this, so let's go. How many fine material?
Oh, 50. Is it 15?
Let's calculate. Let's calculate, right? So how many fine material?
Fine material, 5. I mean, sorry, 15. So, so there are 5 jhanas in each one.
Yes.
So,
all right. So how many immaterial consciousnesses? How many immaterial consciousnesses?
Is that the arupa? Yeah, 12.
Yes. So 12, 15 plus 12.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be 27.
27. Okay. Are we done?
I think in answer to that question, yeah, I suppose so. Yes.
No, we are not.
Oh, we're not done. Okay. All right.
So fun.
Oh, you mean the supramundanes, is it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We've got
how many
8 of those. We've got 8 of those.
8.
Magga, is that the supramundane, 4 good and 4 result? For Magga and Pala, 4. 8.
The 8 have no jhanas, Samantha. The 8 have no jhanas. What has the jhanas in the supramundane?
Oh, yes. Those are the arahants, isn't it?
Yeah.
The kriyas, they have functional things, consciousnesses, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
So it's 8 or 40, isn't it?
Oh, 8 or 40. Yes.
Then
supramundane, basically, yeah.
Yes. So then.
Yes. 8 or 40. Yes. 100 and yes. So there's 40 supramundane states based on jhanas.
Yes, that arises based on jhanas, right?
Yeah.
So all together then, how much is that?
40 plus 27.
Yes.
Yes, 60, sorry, 67.
67. All right. 67. Thank you, Samantha.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Right. So what is the usual way to answer? So this is the basic way of answer. I mean, this would not be accepted at a monastery, right? This would not be accepted at a monastery. So when in a monastery, how we would answer, for example, if I am to repeat Samantha's answer, we would have to name each consciousness, right? And then add it up. So we can't just say 67, right? We can't just say 67. We will have to go through, or some teachers, if we are not having much time, what we will have to go through is Rupa Vachara 15, Arupa Vachara 12, Lokottara also from mundane 40. So that is how the answering process goes, right? Just to sort of know that each time that we do think of the number, we know where that number is coming from, right? That we know where the number is coming from. Okay, so now, Hemali.
Yes, Bhante.
All right, Hemali. How many chittas arise within the lokiya or mundane plane?
8.
Yes.
8 or 40.
No, listen to the, let's go at it again. How many consciousnesses belong to the mundane or lokiya plane? It's the same word, mundane or lokiya plane.
That is Lokottara, is it?
No, lokiya can be laukika. Right?
It's a difficult question, I think.
No, very easy. Very easy, right? So think Hemali.
Yeah, right.
So within the world, right? Within the mundane world. So what is the mundane world? What is the mundane world? Lokiya Bhumi.
Lokottara.
No. Lokottara is separate. So there are two, Lokottara and Lokiya, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
Lokiya plane, right?
Yeah.
What does
54.
54? No. Not only the 54.
Right. 54, 15 plus 12.
Okay. Plus 12, right? So altogether how much?
27. No, sorry.
Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Right? Take a deep breath in. Relax yourself. Now, the lokiya plane includes?
I know, 81.
81. All right. That is the answer. How did you get that answer?
That is sense-sphere consciousness 54,
Yeah.
fine material 15, immaterial 12.
Immaterial 12, right?
81.
Altogether, that is 81 consciousnesses belong to the mundane
Lokiya, yeah.
or the lokiya plane, or are called lokiya consciousnesses, right?
Yes.
Now, okay, lokiya consciousnesses, right? So thank you, Hemali.
Right, thank you, Bhante.
I
never.
All right, Miri.
Yes, Bhante.
Yes. How many spheres are there within the consciousnesses, Miri?
Spheres, there's 3 spheres.
What are the 3?
And the Lokottara. So there's the sense sphere, the material sphere, and the immaterial sphere.
Good. Thank you, Miri. All right. So Dharma. Sudharma?
Yes, Bhante.
All right.
Much.
Uh,
I don't know much, Bhante.
okay. Okay. Have you not had time to prepare, Sudharma?
Yes.
Okay. So I will decide on an easy one and I will give you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this is your question, Sudharma. What are roots?
Roots are. mm,
They are also referred to as moola.
yeah, it's like the thoughts which comes.
No.
No.
No. Any other answers that you might have?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. So Dharma, you have to refer back, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Sudharma.
Thank you.
All right. Lakshman.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Lakshman.
Okay.
Lakshman, your question is Sudharma's question. What are roots?
Roots, the good roots are alobha, dosha, amoha. The bad ones are lobha, dosha, moha.
Thank you, Lakshman. What do they do?
Well, the bad ones lead to karma, the bad karma, and
What
that.
do they do? In what manner are the roots important for a consciousness? Or in what manner does it operate?
We need to get rid of the bad roots, the bad.
No, what is the
Otherwise,
definition of the roots?
the definition.
Yeah. I mean, just explain to me what these roots are.
Like greed, for instance, greed that if one needs to get to advance in our meditation and in our daily life, we need to get rid of greed, for instance. That's a bad root, and it leads to karma, bad karma in the next few future births.
Okay. Okay. With regard to the consciousnesses, Lakshman, like forget about the attainments, forget about the practice. We are talking today. We are talking about the consciousnesses, right? Not about
yeah,
the practice.
it leads to unwholesome consciousnesses. The bad, the roots lead to, generally, most of the roots lead to unwholesome consciousnesses, and the resultant, even the resultants could have some bad karmic effect from the roots.
Okay. So, Lakshman, what would be the answer is the roots support the consciousnesses to form its basis, right? The roots supports the consciousnesses to form its basis. When there are no roots, the consciousnesses are very, very weak, right? So that is why the rootless consciousnesses are unable to bring about any sort of action, but only can support the operation of the senses, right? So, for example, if we are unable to develop our consciousness does not have root, we will not be able to do good nor bad, right? Because the consciousness is so weak, it is unable to develop any sort of movement or words or anything like that. So these roots support or becomes a basis foundation of a consciousness, right? So its main act is to support. Think of a tree. A tree without roots is very weak, right? A plant, a small plant is something that we can just take off. Why? The roots are very, very weak, right? But if it is something like, let us say like a Bodhi tree, right? It is so difficult to remove that root, or it is so difficult, you can't pull a Bodhi tree out. Even if you are to bring a crane, it is very difficult to pull a Bodhi tree out because the roots are spread, and sometimes these roots go on for kilometers. Think of a tree in that way, right? So when you say roots, think of a tree, like the roots support the tree to stand firm, to get the nutrition that it needs to grow. Likewise, in a similar fashion, the roots, greed, hatred, delusion, non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, support consciousness. Understood, Lakshman?
Yes, thank you, Bhante. Thank you. Understood.
Yes, thank you, Lakshman. Right. Now, who do we go to? Dishna.
Yes, Bhante.
Your
I have attended 3 classes, Bhante.
you didn't attend the first few classes.
The last few classes, Bhante. I have attended only 3.
I will just ask you a general question, Dishna, or you can answer it as if you're teaching it to a friend, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, in that fashion, just like you're explaining it to another friend who doesn't know anything. Yeah, just answer it in that fashion. All right. So, what is the meaning of Kama Vachara?
Kama Vachara is the sensual plane. That is where, I mean, if you're born in that, mainly it's like you perceive like feelings and like taste, visuals, sounds. I mean, the karma is propagated along those lines.
Yes, correct, Dishna. Right, correct. So in the Kama Vachara plane, right, in English, the sensual sphere, the objects of that, the minds which arise are based on the 5 senses, right? Are based on the 5 senses. That's clear, no? Yeah?
Yes.
All right, Dishna. Right? Thank you. Now we go on to Ru. All right, Ru, tell me what is the Rupa Vachara plane?
So the plane in which form is most prominent. So the plane which revolves around form and appreciation of the form.
So do we not appreciate form in the sensual sphere?
I'm not sure. Like we do, but I don't know how it differentiates between the sensual and the Rupa Vachara.
Okay, so the Rupa Vachara, so where does this arise, Ru?
Where does Rupa Vachara arise?
Yeah.
It's a form of consciousness. So if your consciousness is more tuned to Rupa, then you're born in that existence.
Okay, so where does it predominantly arise then? Does it predominantly arise within the human plane?
Yes, it would, yes.
Predominantly?
So no, I mean, I've heard of the Rupa Vachara Brahma realm, so I guess it would be mostly in that.
Yes. So the Rupa Vachara plane or Rupa Vachara consciousnesses predominantly arises within the Rupa Vachara worlds, right? And its object becomes what? Its main object is the absorptions. right? So that is your answer. The Rupa Vachara plane. We cannot say form, although the word Rupa is there. Here, what we mean is we are referring to the those Brahma realms, the Brahma planes, which the Rupa Vachara consciousnesses predominantly arise within, right? But we are able to experience these consciousnesses through practice, and practice alone. We are able to experience these consciousnesses in the other planes as well, right? Meaning the human plane, through practice of meditation, samatha meditation, you are able to experience the Rupa Vachara consciousnesses.
So, is this the plane where there are people who, or Brahmas who take pride in creation?
Yes.
Creation of Rupas.
Yes. So if we are to take the 31 planes of existence, right? 31 planes of existence. Now, if we are looking for an absolutely direct, complete answer, right? We would then have to say that the Rupa Vachara plane or the Rupa Vachara consciousnesses predominantly arise within the fine material world. What is a fine material world? The Brahma Parisajja, Brahma Purohita, Mahabrahma, Parithaba, Appamanaba, right? And you would state all of these states of states of the Brahma plane, right? And Brahma plane. So that would be an utmost complete answer. And we would also state there are how many consciousnesses in the Kama Vachara Roop? How many consciousnesses in the Rupa Vachara?
I'm not sure.
We have 15 consciousnesses in the Rupa Vachara. All right. Thank you, Ru. Now, who has not got Manisha? Manisha, I'm trying to unmute your mic. Having difficulty though. All right. Up until Manisha's mic is resolved, let's go to Lettuce.
Hello, Bhante.
Oh, okay, Lettuce, yes. Lettuce, can you explain to us? No, not the explanation. We'll move on to the consciousnesses. All right. How many consciousnesses, Manisha? I'm sorry, how many consciousnesses, Lettuce, are equanimous?
35.
All 35. Can we go through them?
In the unwholesome, there are the 4 in the 8 greed-rooted ones, and then 2 in the delusion.
Okay. How much is that?
4 and 2, 6.
Okay. And?
Then the rootless.
Rootless, how many do we have?
In the
So we'll go through one by one.
7 resultant unwholesome ones have 6. The Chakuvinyana, Sota, Divha, and Gana 4.
All right.
And then the Sampatichana and the Santhiran.
All right. And so there is 6 there. Moving on.
Then the wholesome ones,
Okay.
resultant, wholesome.
Mhm.
Again, the same for the jivha, chakku, the four,
All right.
plus
Shall we,
ones,
shall we repeat? We'll repeat it. Letters,
six.
right?
Yeah, six.
We have
Yeah.
to repeat it. So, chakku, sotha, gahana,
Jivha, gana, four.
4,
And
and
then the sampatichana,
sampatichana, we have 1 upeka there, and
santirana.
yes, wonderful.
One santirana.
Yes. And then the next,
The 3 rootless.
are all 3 equanimous?
No, the last one is somanas with the joy, hasitupada.
Yes, wonderful. So then, how many is that then, letters?
6, 18 plus. 19.
No, 18 minus 4, that is 14.
14.
Right? So how we deduct the hasitupada chitta, the laughing, smiling consciousness. We deduct the pain, right?
And the sukha one.
Yeah, exactly. So is 18 minus 4 equals 14.
14.
Right? And then letters?
Then the sense sphere chittas, the
Beautiful.
the beautiful ones. Again, 4 upekka sahagata, and then there are 12, 4 in each.
Yeah.
4 in each, so there's 12.
This is how you say it. 4 consciousnesses in kusala or wholesome.
4 in wholesome resultant, and 4 in the functional.
Functional. So how much is that?
12.
That is 12 there, right? And then
there are 3 upekka sahagata ones in the 5th jhana.
yes,
In the
5th
3,
jhana, right? And then
in the immaterial, I think the fine material one. Fine material
one, how many upekka sagata consciousnesses or equanimous consciousnesses?
altogether 35.
No.
I know. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. 35 is not enough letters. The final number is not enough. We must know exactly where it's come from. So 12. So how many arupa consciousnesses? How many arupa consciousnesses?
I don't know. No, arupa. 40. No, sorry.
Clear?
Arupa is 12.
Yes, 12. And is there any joy in these immaterial consciousnesses?
Yes.
Where?
There's happiness in most.
Is there happiness? So the immaterial consciousnesses are an arm of the 5th jhana consciousness, sirs, of the Rupa Vachara plane, right? So we have only 2 jhana factors. What are the 2? Do you remember, Lettice?
I can't remember.
Right. So there are 2 jhana factors, that is upekka and ekagata, or equanimity and one-pointedness. So that would mean that all the arupa consciousnesses are equanimous, right? So there's 12 consciousnesses there, right? And then what about the supramundane? What about the supramundane? Now because we are talking about feeling, now 8 or 40 consciousnesses, isn't it, in supramundane? So then the 8 consciousnesses wouldn't have anything there, right? So then we will have to look at the 40 section, which arises through jhana, right? So how many fifth jhana consciousnesses then are associated with the supramundane plane?
10 of them.
10 or
5 and 5.
4 and 4. There are only 4 attainments, no letters. So
Yeah, that's right. Yes, 8. Yeah, 8, 4 and 4. Sorry.
1, 4, right. So all of that together, how much do we have then?
I didn't count.
12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. How many altogether? So let's count then. So 6 plus 14 plus 12 plus 3 plus 12 plus 4. $51 types of consciousnesses are equanimous out of the 121 consciousnesses that we have. Thank you, Lettuce. Right? Thank you. Good. Good Lettuce. Right? All right. Then, how many consciousnesses? Mihiri, we are coming back to you.
Okay, Bhante.
Yes. How many consciousnesses, Mihiri, are associated with somanassa or joy?
Okay, so starting with the Kamavachara, the greed-rooted ones.
Yes.
There's 4 of them which are associated with joy.
Yes.
So there's the Somanassa Sahagata, the Ditthigata, Samprita, Viprita, Sankarika, and Sasankarika. So all 4 of the 8 of the 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
All right.
That's one lot. And then associated with joy, there is then if you go to the ahetuka ones or the rootless ones, there will be the sukha sahagata in the kusala ones, the wholesome resultant ones.
Yes.
There'll be 1 of those. So that's 5. And then if you go to the...
The one there?
Pardon, there's 1 there. And there's also 1 in the investigating consciousnesses, in the Santirana Chitta. So that's 1.
Yeah.
So there's 2 there. So that's 4, 5, 6. And then if we go to the Kriya or the functional ones, the Somanassa Sahagata, the Hasittupada one, there's 1 there.
Yeah.
So that's 7. And then if we go to the wholesome resultant ones, there's again 4 of the wholesome kusala ones. Out of the 8, 4 are equanimous, 4 are with joy. So that's 4 there. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, 4. And then same with the vipaka and the functional. So that will be 4, 4, 4, 12 there altogether in that group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I suppose the first 4 of the kusala, if you take the rupavachara ones.
Yes.
Does Preeti come into that? Preeti Sukha, that because the kusala ones, they have...
It does.
Each of the jhanas, you will have the first 4 jhanas, apart from the 5th.
Yes.
There'll be 4, 4, 4, so that will be 12 again there. Is that right?
Correct.
Yes. And then in the Arupavachara, I'm not sure whether there is joy in those ones.
There is no need to have doubt. There is no joy because why?
Because Upekha and Ekaggata only in those 5 ones.
Correct.
And
right.
then in the Lokottara ones, again, because that's again with the 5th jhanas, again there won't be. Is that right?
Only the 5th jhana will not have. The rest will
Yeah,
have.
so the others will have. So apart from those 4, there'll be 32 of them will have. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
That is correct. So what is the total?
So it will be 4, 5, 6, 7. So sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 plus 12 plus 32. So it will be 4, 5, 6, 8, 3, 4, 5. 58?
58 or?
Oh, sorry, 58 or...
No, not or, but not 58, Miri. You did all the calculations correctly.
Have I missed something, or have I just not added up correctly?
Okay, so it's 60 consciousnesses.
60? 60, is it? Okay.
62.
62, is it? Okay.
62 consciousnesses, Miri.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Miri.
Thank you.
All right. Now, who can we come to next? All right. Ru? Ru?
Yes. Yep.
Right. How many consciousnesses are associated with pain?
I'm trying.
With actually a pain feeling, or domanassa.
I'm just trying to get this PDF running on my computer.
How many can forget about the PDF, Ru?
Yeah.
Right. How many consciousnesses are there associated with hatred?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So get your PDF running, Ru. Okay. I'll ask you another question later. Okay. Who can we ask? Sudharma. Sudharma, we are waiting for your mic to unmute.
Hello, Bhante. Sorry.
You're with us. All right. How many consciousnesses associated with domanassa?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
I thought.
What? Sudharma, this is not TikTok. Now, Sudharma, let's count, right? Let's count. Now, how many? Okay, domanassa.
I don't have notes with me.
Yeah, that's okay. So, Dharma, how many consciousnesses are there in the unwholesome?
I don't know really.
Really? Okay. So, Dharma. All right. Okay. Pushpa. Do you know Pushpa? The answer?
No, sorry.
Shirani.
6.
Not 6. Domanassa. Where did you get the 6 from?
The 6 senses.
So Domanassa. So Domanassa. Now let's look at the 12 unwholesome, right? Domanassa or hatred is, or a feeling of displeasure would arise. Obviously, we would know it would arise from the unwholesome, isn't it? It will not arise ever from a wholesome consciousness. It will always arise from an unwholesome. So you look at that straight. How many unwholesome consciousnesses, Shriyani?
Eight.
Shriyani, 8 unwholesome
Eight.
consciousnesses.
Yeah. 8 conscious, yeah.
Totally. So we have 12 consciousnesses, Shriyani, that are unwholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Out of those 12 consciousnesses, the greed cannot be related to hate or displeasure, because greed is always to attach to things, right? It is with craving and clinging. Then what is the next category we have? All right, Shriyani, we are going to give you a break. Yeah, look at your notes. Okay. Gaini.
Hi, Bhante.
Gaini, we've been missing you for a couple of days.
Exactly. I couldn't catch up and I don't know whether I'm up to this speed.
Gaini, yeah, this is the first few classes you were attending, okay?
Oh, I didn't know you're asking questions. I should have
That's
prepared.
okay. So Gaini, how many unwholesome consciousnesses?
So 12 unwholesome consciousness.
Correct, Gaini.
Yeah.
Out of the 12, now what in the unwholesome, where do we have displeasure? Where the heart burns and you feel your whole body burning.
Yeah, so is that 2 hatred rudenesses?
Correct, Gaini, 2 hatred. All right. Where else can we have displeasure? Where else out of the 89, 121, can we have it within the jhanas?
I don't think so. No.
Yes.
No.
I don't think so. Not I don't think so. No.
No. No. I miss jhanas, but yes, it cannot be.
Can we have it at the jhanas or the rupa vachara and arupa vachara?
No.
No. We have it at the beautiful.
The beautiful. We have wholesome, resultant, and functional.
Can we have Can we do a meritorious action with hatred?
No.
So we will not have hatred in beautiful as
beautiful.
Then can we have hatred in the rootless?
In the rootless, we have 18.
Yes. Now when you have hatred, right?
Yeah.
When you have it, now for example, let's say this bottle, I hate this bottle, which I don't really, right?
Yeah.
Now I hate this bottle, right? Now, is that the fault of the bottle or is it my fault?
It's your fault. Your fault.
Yes, thank you, Gaini. It's my fault. All right. I don't hear that usually. Right, so it's my fault.
I changed my mind. It's my fault.
Right. All right. So it's my fault or your fault, whoever's fault. It's our fault, right?
Yeah.
So then, if it is something, if it is something of mine, if it is not to do with the object, right?
Yeah.
Then it should arise where? Is it the wholesome resultant or kusala vipaka, or should we be within the akusala vipaka?
Is it wholesome?
Now, for example, if I am to hate something, right? Can it be a kusala vipaka, a wholesome resultant?
No.
No. Then it should be within the unwholesome resultant.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Good, Gaini.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
where in the unwholesome? Where in the unwholesome? Now, can you feel hate in your eyes?
No.
Can you feel hate in your ears?
No.
You hear things with your ears, but
Yeah.
you understand whether it's hate or not somewhere else in the mind or wherever, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you can't be having hate here, right? Or rather displeasure, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
your ears, when you hear something bad, you're not going to do this, right? And cover your ears, and it's not going to be better, right?
Yeah.
True.
True.
So can you feel sort of displeasure or whatnot? In which sense, though, can you feel displeasure?
Is it
Now just imagine someone sort of pinches your hand,
yeah,
or slaps
so
you.
touch.
So touch. So that is the kaya vinyana.
Yes.
Good. So then put all of that together. So we have 2 from dosa and we have 1 from kaya vinyana.
Kaya vinyana. Yeah,
So
3.
altogether we have 3 consciousnesses associated with displeasure.
Hatred. Displeasure. Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Gaini.
Thank you.
I'll come back to you, huh?
Please don't.
Please don't. All right. Now, what else? What else? Okay. We will go to who would like to answer, but we have not given you an opportunity. Mala. Mala, dear. Unmute your mic, please. All right,
Okay,
Mala.
it's unmuted now.
Yes. Yes. Mala, your question is, right? Your question is, how many consciousnesses, right? How many consciousnesses arise with 3 roots?
With 3 roots.
Yeah. Mala.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Starting with the akusala.
Mute, lower your sound. That is it. Just lower your sound.
Lower the sound.
No, you.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
Right.
starting with the akusala chitta,
Yes.
there's lobha, dvesha, moha, alobha, advesha, lobha, dvesha, moha.
Yeah.
There are 3 roots.
So what are the consciousnesses with 3 roots?
Akusala sit.
Okay.
Then in the ahetuka, you don't have any roots.
So akusala, do you have 3 roots?
Akusala in the lobha mula, you have got 2 roots only.
2 roots only.
Greed and delusion.
No 3 roots, right? So just to clear the slate, 3 roots would always arise only in a wholesome mind.
Okay, right.
Why? Because greed and hatred, the 2 roots, greed and hatred, can never arise together. You cannot love a person and hate a person at the same time, right? So akusalas are off. Then we have the karma vachara. Do we have the rootless? Do we have anything there?
In the rootless, no roots.
No roots. Moving on. Beautiful consciousness.
In the beautiful consciousness, there's with the jnana sampayukta.
Correct.
That is with knowledge.
Yes.
There are 3 roots: alobha, advesha, amoha.
Yes.
But in the jnana vipayukta, which is dissociated with knowledge, you get only alobha and advesha. The non-delusion is not there.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean there's delusion, but just that non-delusion is excellent.
Amazing. Good. Good, Mala. And so, what is the number? Totally, completely, totally. There are how many beautiful consciousnesses?
24.
24. So basically,
So out of, yeah. So half of them, that is 12, have got 3 roots. The other half have got only 2 roots.
Good. Rupa Vachara.
And the Rupa Vachara, they have to have 3 roots.
Okay.
3 wholesome roots, yeah.
Correct. Correct. So we have, then how many there?
15.
15 and?
Arupa Vachara 12.
Yes. Arupa Vachara 12 and?
And Supramandate 8.
Yes. So here, remember now here, we do not consult 40. We take it as 8. Because why? This is nothing to do with the jhanas or the feelings of the jhanas. So when the question is nothing to do with the feelings of the jhanas, we do not consult the 40. We only consult the 8 technique, right? So then how much is that totally, Mala?
So in the Kamavachara, there are 12.
Yeah.
Rupavachara 15, Arupavachara 8, 47 plus what's in the Akusal.
Nothing in the Akusal. So 47 completely. Correct, Mala.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Right? All right. Who did not answer anything? Kitsiri?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. Kitsiri, your question is, yeah, so when Siri thinks I'm speaking to him. Okay. All right. Now, with regards to, okay, the consciousnesses, the roots again, how many roots have how many consciousnesses have 2 roots? So when we say 2 roots, then now we can be both, it can be both unwholesome and wholesome, right? Because it's 2 roots, right? So Kitsiri, let's get counting.
I'm in trouble.
Huh? You know, do you remember the consciousness, or do you have the consciousnesses in front of you?
Yes.
All right, then that is enough, Kitsiri. You're not in trouble.
Okay.
You're not in trouble. So then now I've told all of you.
Yes.
2 roots, all consciousnesses, or rather the low greed rooted consciousnesses cannot have dosa within them or hatred within them. The hatred consciousnesses cannot have lobha within them. So the greed consciousness has 2 roots, and the dosa consciousness must have 2 roots as well. So how many there are, Kitsiri? Is it Kitsiri or Kitsri?
3.
It's 3. Can I just call it 3 then?
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay.
All right, Kitsri. Now, how many consciousnesses there then? How many greed rooted?
Greed rooted. So 8.
8, correct. How many hatred?
2.
2, correct. That is 10 there. 10 consciousness we already have now. And now moving on. Now, can the rootless consciousnesses have roots?
No.
Exactly. So 18, we cut it off. And then we go into the beautiful consciousnesses. Right? The beautiful consciousnesses. Right? So here in the beautiful consciousnesses, we have 3 roots that can associate the beautiful consciousnesses. What are the 3 Kitsri?
Sorry.
Is it greed, hatred, delusion?
Non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion.
Correct. Non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. Yeah. So then, where does these three roots not arise? Only two roots can arise. Where? So this is down to the consciousnesses that are jnana vipayutta or without knowledge. Right? Those consciousnesses that are without knowledge. Right? So how many kitsire?
Is it dissociated from knowledge?
Yes, those consciousnesses that are disassociated from knowledge. How many consciousnesses within the beautiful consciousnesses are disassociated with knowledge?
So it would be four wholesome consciousnesses.
4 in kusala consciousnesses, or wholesome consciousnesses. The other one? Is it only 4?
No. And then
when there is a kusala, there is also a vipaka, a resultant. When there is a wholesome,
so two resultant.
2 or
four. Sorry, 4 again.
Resultant, and then we have the other ones that the arahants experience, the functional, the enlightened beings experience.
Functional, again, there are also 4.
Good. So then we have all the rest of the consciousnesses have 3 roots. So the answer would be 10 plus 12, 22.
Yeah.
So we have 22 consciousnesses that have 2 roots. All right, Kitsri?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. All right. Thank you. Now we are coming back to, we'll come to Dil. Dil, are you ready? Dil?
Right. Okay.
Dil, you're on fire tonight.
No, I'm not. No, I don't mind if you miss me, but I'm right.
All right. So Dil, what shall I ask Dil? Dil, how many consciousnesses arise within the mind-o?
Only one. Within the mind, though. You mean the adverting con? Can't hear, Bhante.
You can't hear. How many consciousnesses arise within the mind-o?
You are thinking of the manodvara, the functional one.
I am thinking of the manodvara.
Yes.
Yes. So how can we first start by saying how many doors there are?
So that they say that the mind load, that's a real complicated one, because that's the mind. Unlike the panchadvara, there are 5 doors.
Yeah.
The mind door one is a manodvara.
Manodvara.
So, and I don't know whether they say that when it occurs in the 5-door process, I don't know that Votapana thing, it's called a determining consciousness.
Dil. This is not a thesis.
I can't understand that, Bhante, but that's what I read.
We are only talking about very simply, right? We are only talking about what consciousnesses arise within the mind-o, right?
So that those will be the functional one, the mind-o, the rootless functional consciousness.
No. Let's start with unwholesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Let's start with unwholesome. Does unwholesome consciousnesses, how many unwholesome consciousnesses are there?
12.
12. Where do they arise?
there are those that arises for greed, 2 for hatred, and 2 for delusion.
Okay. Okay. So how many total?
12.
Okay. Yes. So they arise. Do they arise at the eyes,
No,
nose,
no,
tongue,
no,
ears,
no,
body?
no.
They arise then where?
In the mind.
In the mind, right? So that is basically we are asking that. Then we go down to the ahetuka consciousnesses or rootless consciousnesses, right? Right. So the first consciousness within the rootless is what till?
The unwholesome one.
Yes,
Resultant.
is actually unwholesome. So what is the first consciousness?
Again, the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and the body.
And the body. Where do these arise?
In the eye, the ear, the
The
tongue.
nose, the tongue, the body, right? So they do not, then we have to dismiss them, isn't it? Right? Then we have the sampatichana, the receiving consciousnesses.
Yes.
Where does the receiving consciousness arise? The receiving consciousness arises corresponding the base or the door that the object arose in. Right? So will the receiving consciousness then arise within the mind door?
No.
Exactly, dear. Good. Right? Then, now this is why, can you see we are polishing up. We know now exactly where the receiving consciousness arises. Right? And then we go into what comes next, Dil?
The resultant wholesome. There are 8 of those.
No. What comes next is the investigating consciousnesses.
Yes. So there is one there.
Yes. So where does that arise, Dil?
That arises in the mind.
In the mind, correct. It can also arise in the base of the door, right? So it arises both at the base corresponding to the object as well as the door,
right,
as well as the mind, right? So we have 2 investigating consciousnesses.
Yes.
There, right? And then we have, right, that investigating. So there's 2 there, and we also have a investigation. There's an indifferent, equanimous investigating, and then there's a somnas investigating. Both of these. So then there is 3 consciousnesses there that arises within the mind door.
Yeah.
Right? What else, dear? What is afterwards? What about now we have gone through the wholesome as well as the unwholesome resultant, haven't we?
We've got 2 plus 3 so far.
Yeah, we have 2 plus
3. While the other one has got the
Is
result
it-
wholesome.
okay. Is it 2 plus 3 or 2 plus 1?
2 plus 1.
Yeah, exactly, dear. Good. Then what about the 5 door adverting consciousness? Where does the 5 door adverting consciousness arise? The 5 door adverting consciousness arises
In the mind.
parallel to the door that the object arose from.
So then again, then there is
So
a
we have to shove it, right? We do not take the Panchadwara Bhajana. Next, what do we have, Dil?
Manodwara.
Good. Where does the mind do adverting arise?
In the mind.
In the mind. So we have 1 there,
Yes.
right? And then what do we have?
The Hatitapati.
Where does that arise?
That's not connected with anything. The Arahants and the Buddhas are
Actually,
smiling.
the Hasitupada consciousness can arise parallel, can arise in all sense, because now when you smile, is it only this? What if you're smiling like that and no nothing in the nothing in the eyes, nothing in the face? Huh? So this Hasitupada consciousness can arise in all doors, including the Mindo. So we have one there again, right? Do you understand that fact? When you smile, it is a whole bodily function, right? It is not just a mouth function, right? So that is why now you see now us polishing through, right? This is why this part is important, right? And then we have Dil. What do we have next?
The beautiful, the Shobhana pieces.
The beautiful consciousnesses. The beautiful consciousnesses, Dil. We don't have to go through each one separately. It is very clear. You tell me.
So there are 8 and 8 and 8. And they can all arise in the mind.
Beautiful, Dil. Thank you very much for that. So there are 24 consciousnesses, and all of those consciousnesses arise in the mind, right? Arise in the mind. So what next?
The fine material.
The fine material, right? The fine material consciousnesses. Now, the fine material consciousnesses, right? The fine material consciousnesses, we have to go section by section, right? We have to go section by section. Can you tell us why, Dil? Now we are talking about
the fine material. So that is the Rupa Jhana.
The Rupa Jhanas, right?
Yes.
The Rupa Jhanas. So the first, okay, we'll take the first one first, right? The first section is the Rupa Jhana, the fine material. What type of consciousnesses?
Wholesome.
Wholesome. Right. So when you're meditating, now you meditate, you don't meditate with the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, the body. You meditate with your mind. Isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So then where do we have, can we take all of those then?
Yes.
How many?
5 of those.
5. Wonderful. Right. So that's 5 there. Right. So 5 there. And now the next one, the fine material result. And now Dil, praise to you. This is a very difficult one, right? So praise to you. So let's go ahead and finish it off. What about the next one, Dil?
So these are the vipakas.
The resultants. Now where do they arise, Dil? Where do they arise?
So they can arise in the various sense sphere, the different bases as well as the mind.
No.
Only in the mind.
In this section, this one, there is something called Dvara Vimutti, right? Dvara Vimutti, or free of doors, because this type of consciousness arises or gives about rebirth, right? So this consciousness brings about rebirth. It is called a Dvara Vimutti. We will come to learn about Dvara Vimutti in the future. So this consciousness does not arise at the mind door, right? Don't confuse yourself at the moment. We'll come to it, but it does not arise at the mind door, right? So we do not take that in. The next one, Dil.
So that
Arahant meditates. What is the next group of consciousnesses?
The arupa, the material one.
Oh, the fine material, functional.
Functional, yes.
Functional. The fine material, functional, right?
Yeah.
And what are the fine material functional consciousnesses? How many are there?
5.
We have 5. And when an Arahant meditates, isn't it similar to us?
Yeah.
Should it then arise where?
In the mind.
In the mind. So we take those 5 as well.
Yeah.
Right? We take those 5 as well. And now moving on to the next group of consciousnesses. What are the next group of consciousnesses, Dil?
The supramundane ones, the path and the fruit.
The immaterial consciousnesses.
Sorry, the material consciousness. Yes, there are 4, 4 and 4. Sorry.
The 4 immaterial, there are 3 sections, isn't it?
4 wholesome, 4 vipaka and 4 kriya.
Yes. So the wholesome consciousnesses, do you think it arises within the mind?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes, Dil, yes. All right. And the next section, right? What is the next section?
The resultants.
The resultant. Where does this arise? Similar to the Rupa Vachara, these also belong to the Dwara Vimutti. So we are not going to discuss that now. Just know that it does not arise in the mind. It arises in a different category, right? And then we have what's the next one?
The kriya ones, immaterial kriya.
The kriya ones, right? So then the kriya ones, when the Arahant meditates, how is that going to happen?
That will happen in the mind. Like that.
All right. So that is 50. Yes. So we have that there. And now we move on to the next, right? What is the next deal?
The supramundane one, the path and fruit one. The fruit
Path and fruition. Now, where does that arise? The path and fruition, where does that arise?
In the mind.
In the mind. All right. So then we have add all of that together. We have 67 consciousnesses that arise in the mind door, right? That arise in the mind door. Thank you very much, Dil.
Thank you, Bhante, for all the help.
Doing that.
Because you.
All right. Now, let us come to. Okay. All right. We will give this to. Veera.
Yes.
All right. So this is a question regarding consciousnesses and objects, right? How many consciousnesses arise with a tangible object or touchable object?
When it comes to sense sphere unwholesome,
yeah,
all 12 can arise with any tangible object. Yeah.
Yes, all 12 there.
All 12. Yeah. And the rootless, the unwholesome resultant can arise with the tangible object.
Only the unwholesome resultant?
No.
Okay. Okay, we'll go through it. Okay, unwholesome resultant.
Unwholesome resultants.
Is it?
Yes, it's also you can actually, as a result of a tangible object, you have you can say that it's a rootless resultant. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go for the unwholesome resultants first, right?
Yeah.
The unwholesome resultants, what consciousnesses associate or can arise with a tangible object?
Eye, ear.
No. So when we refer to a touchable or tangible object, now the eye.
Okay. So you are not talking about the object. It's tangible object. Yeah.
So here,
yeah.
Arammana.
Okay.
Arammana. So when
Arammana can be a object for eye also.
Yes, it can be. We have Rupa Rammana, Saddha Rammana, Gandha Rammana, Rasa Rammana, and Pottabha Rammana. Right?
Okay.
Now, when we say tangible object, we are referring to Pottabha Rammana. So
it's only
based on this.
Yeah, body.
The body.
Yeah, yeah.
So then.
So in other words, rootless. There's only one you can have with tangible object.
Only one.
Which is body consciousness.
How many body consciousnesses are there?
In where? In unwholesome resultant?
Unwholesome, yes. One.
Only one, yes.
Right. And then?
Then the wholesome resultant, only one.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is again, yeah.
Okay. And then what about the receiving and investigating?
Receiving, it can be a tangible object.
Yes, it can arise within the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
now we have how many, Avira?
Now 3. And then investigating also can be tangible object. Yeah.
Yes. So then we have 19 consciousnesses we have already. And now let's move on to the next, the 5-door adverting. What do you think?
5-door adverting can also be tangible object. Yeah.
Yes. So one there. And what about Manodwara Vajana?
No. You can't have you can't raise your manodvara based on tangible object.
Okay. Do you think so?
I think so. Because
with the Manodwara Vajana, right?
Yeah.
The Manodwara Vajana can take a tangible object as an object. Now, can you look at this? Can you look at this bottle?
Yeah, I can look at it. Then it will be eye consciousness, not the
this Pottabha Ramana, right? This Pottabha Ramana, right? So yes, the eye consciousness. This can it be taken? Can you remember? Let's say you had a massage or something like that, a way that your body feels. You like warm showers.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That can be taken as a mind object.
Yes.
There you go. So then we have mind or adverting also.
Because you have a contact, so you can actually. Yeah, I understand now. Yes.
And then the smile consciousness.
Yes, you can have.
Yes. So there are 3 there, right?
3 there.
Right. So we have 3 there, and then moving on, right? What about the great wholesome consciousnesses? The beautiful. What do you think about the beautiful consciousnesses?
Beautiful. I think all wholesome can have tangible object.
Yes. Can have a tangible object, right?
Yeah. But whole resultant cannot have tangible object because it's a vipaka.
The Maha Vipaka, you are saying it cannot?
Yes. I think because your vipaka cannot triggered by an object.
Yes, vipaka cannot be triggered by an object.
Yeah.
But can it take an object which was, now let's say you do a merit making ceremony.
Yeah.
Right? This merit making ceremony, it brings about a rebirth linking consciousness. This rebirth linking consciousness would then sort of be within the resultant. Because of this, you are
okay. Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
then all the
wholesome resultant can have tangible object.
Beautiful should be able to then take a tangible object as an object.
Yeah.
Right? 46.
Same with functional also. Yeah.
Same with the functional as well.
Yeah.
With the functional as well. Right? Same with the functional as well.
Yeah.
Right? And then moving on to fine material.
Fine material, yes. Because you are contemplating on external object.
That is a place, it's a no.
Oh, right.
Because now, when you are taking, now we have the nimitta, right?
Yeah.
The sign that we are meditating on, we've gone through all of this. I think all of you are aware of the kasina, right? That we use for our meditation. This sign, when we get it into our mind, it is not the same sign.
Okay. Ugraha nimitta.
The Ugraha nimitta is a completely mind-born phenomena.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? It is a mind-born phenomena now.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, now I understand, yeah.
So then the Rupa Vachara, what about the Arupa Vachara?
Around the same thing.
Same thing.
There's no,
So then we have 40, so nothing to talk about the supramundane consciousness.
Yes, that's right.
So that is all mind-born. So we have 46 consciousnesses that can arise having a Pottabharamana or object of
feel.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Now.
Okay. Thank you.
I had to give you a hard one. All right.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Now, it's 8:30 already. That was quite quick. All right. Let's take about, if you allow me, of course, if you have to run, that's okay. Let's take about 10 minutes more. Right. I just want to finish all of this. So this part about Arammana, if you did not understand, that is all right. We'll be coming back to it. Right. We will be coming back to it and we'll be going further into it. Now, returning back to the consciousnesses. Who can we ask? Dishna?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes. Dishna, your question is, right, explain to me what are functional consciousnesses?
Functional consciousnesses are those which has the capacity to act on its own to create good or bad karma.
To act on its own to create good or bad karma? No, actually the right opposite. Right?
Okay.
So these functional consciousnesses are consciousnesses that only arise within a person who has attained enlightenment. These consciousnesses are unable to develop karmas leading to rebirth. Hence, they are called functional consciousnesses. They can do the function. For example, a arahant can take something and offer to someone, do a merit-making ceremony, do something good, right? But these consciousnesses are unable to develop the energy necessary to develop a rebirth linking or a rebirth.
Rebirth, yeah.
Because of that, it is called functional. It is only for the function. Do you understand? Right?
Yes,
so I think we need to take another class for revision. Right? We will take, so the next class also we will do revision on consciousnesses. Right? On consciousnesses. So be prepared, right? Be prepared. And be prepared. Now, next class, I will not ask you the numbers. Maybe I will, you know, a little bit, but not go in depth as we not sort of question you like this, but rather I'll be asking questions like what I've just asked Dishna, right? And so be prepared. So what is a Kusala Vipaka? Well, what can it do? What is a Ahetuka Vipaka, rootless Vipaka? What can that do? Why can't a greed-rooted consciousnesses have the root of hatred within it? You know, things like that, right? Just to polish up that part as well. So we will do that bit next week. All right, we will do that bit next week. So I think then we can close the session for today. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very sad to close the session today. I would pretty much enjoy mugging you for a little bit longer, but it's okay. So I wish you guys the very best. Please do your revision, read through the chapter of consciousness, and that should be just enough. Right, that should be just enough. The questions that I specifically asked Bill and Dharma Veera is a little bit advanced. We'll be coming to those sections in the future. So if you did not understand those two questions specifically, do not worry about it. They have actually done these whole things. They have completed the Abhidhamma Sangha before, so they might have a little bit more knowledge. So don't worry about it. But basically, with regards to the consciousnesses, please know how many consciousnesses are there. What I will do is by tomorrow, visit the website, visit the Dhamma Center website. Veera has also done, helped us out, and he has actually composed a chart. I will be putting that on there, as well as I will be including a couple of links for you to then access with the charts. Right now, for example, the chart, this is the chart that I was looking at. I didn't want to give it to you before today because I wanted you to make charts on your own, but I will give you this chart to you now. So tomorrow, by tomorrow morning, check the website and you will have all of this with you then. And this will help you to sort of revise and be ready. So, so do your revision, or else what will happen is, yes, you're serving time, you're coming to a class, but you will not you will not be proficient enough to go forward. Right, to go forward. And for example, the question that I asked Veera, right now, those are bits and parts that you have to know in order for your meditation, for you to be able to discern between the mind and the matter. Right, so remember, go through these things. These are not difficult things. It is just that we need to get used to it. I remember when, you know, Abhidhamma class, you know, I also used to run away those days. Right, especially Pali class. The moment the professor started asking questions, I would go to the bathroom and never come back. Right, so it is sometimes, you know, you want to run away, but it is good if you do get it, and you know that you are proficient in this. And then when you are proficient, you can even, you know, you close your book. Like, it is because of charts like this, it is because of these parts that you don't, like, for example, I can teach you the Abhidhamma without really looking at a book. And that is because we've revised through these charts, through these different differentiations, and that really, really polishes up your knowledge and the connections between the mind and matter and all of these other things. So this is very important. And so next time, be ready. And even for those of you who have not, been able to follow through all, read through the chapter, right? You have a couple of days now. Tomorrow is Poson, right? Tomorrow is Poson. So read through the chapter. You can maybe commit your whole day if you're meditating, and if you're doing something, you can maybe commit the whole day towards your Abhidhamma study, and that would be a Poson well spent, right? And so read through the chapter, read through it twice if you can, and that will be really good for you, right? And on I think Tuesday we will resume and we will revise again on Tuesday, and on Thursday we will continue with the chapter on Chetasika, right? So that is what we will do. I wish you all the very best. I hope you use tomorrow to develop a bit of meditation. If you are meditating, I am not doing a Poson program, but I think from next month onwards I will do a Poson program. We will do a full day program for Poson, not Poson, but for the full moon days. I will plan something out for you guys to be able to sort of do the teachings and invite a couple of other people as well to do a couple of teachings as well. So I wish that you do meditate, and if you are meditating, you can use the meditations on the YouTube website or any other thing, whatever, just meditate, right? And just meditate and do a bit of practice tomorrow, because it is Poson. And I wish you guys all the very best. Happy revising, and I will see you all very soon, right? Take care and good night.